Hi, I'm SallyJoMCooper. Welcome to my Edge of My Mind. Let's jump off. This is my final piece-by-piece video for my self-realization series, Spring 2020. This piece is titled Growing Up. It contains dialogue in the piece. And no, I did not paint it. I printed it off and laid it into the piece with an acrylic clear gel body and then spray painted over it. So it doesn't technically qualify as a pure oil painting, but I decided that legibility took priority over classicism. So I would like to start out this video by reading the dialogue. I am at a cafe today because little man has been making recording a little bit strenuous because I worry about getting done while he's napping. So I am out at Caffeinated near Navarre in Florida. It's a coffee shop I really like. They are exceptionally pleasant here, and they have these great little side rooms for hiding and doing eccentric things like math or YouTubes. All right, so I am going to read this dialogue. Early one morning, the child climbed out the eastern window and thought, I will go out and see all there is to see between the sea and me. First, he came to a forest, and as he pushed back the branches to make his way through, his arms grew strong. Next, he came to the mountains, and as he stretched to climb over them, his legs grew long. He came to the desert, and there his stomach grew from emptiness. He came to the city and talked to many people of many lives, and with them his mind grew. Then at last he took a boat out onto the sea, and as the stars came out, his soul grew deep. Then he thought, now I have seen all between the sea and me. I will go home. When he returned to the city, he thought, this is just a busy town. When he passed back through the desert, he did not grow so hungry. As he climbed back over the mountains, he thought, these are hills. Then, as he came to the forest, he thought, this has only ever been an orchard. He came to the house he had left and walked up to the door on the western side. And upon seeing the door and the house, he sat down on the steps and wept. His father heard him. He opened the door, stepped out, placed his hand on his son's shoulder, and asked, why do you weep? The son replied, Father, I can no longer fit inside your house. The father responded, my child, it was my greatest hope you would outgrow all I could provide. So that is the text to this piece. The text exists in these little white bubbles here. I'm really happy with this piece. I went really back and forth over how much realism and how much symbolism I was going to include in this piece. With my final form, I ended going really symbolic. I did include shadows. I went over, I think, a couple of times why I care about shadows so much. Shadows are indicators of your relationship with the world, and I think that's really important. So even though I went with a very symbolic form caricature over getting a real model and trying to do it really realistically, I still wanted to include the shadows. I decided to go with this really, really bright, almost non-flesh tone red because I wanted the eye to be immediately drawn to this central character. And this is something that I took a little bit out of iconography because they will just indicate, like, they'll have all the saints, and then around Christ, they put a red line instead of just a gold halo, so he's not lost. And I just got to thinking about that, and that's just a really classical way to represent the main character. You'll see this in cave art. You'll see this in like Egyptian art. They'll have regular characters in black, and then bam, one of them in this really bright rusty red that just draws the eye immediately. And I knew before I did the little icon, I had most of the backgrounds done, and I knew I was going with a heavy green blue color scheme, so it's a very vibrant contrast to do the little figure in red. So that was the form I wanted. I did make a little light model of the house just to make sure I was doing the house realistic enough you would know it was the same house. I'm trying to think of something else to talk about with this. I'm really happy with it overall. I think it's made a really nice summary. This piece is a long vertical, and so I have my beginning piece and my end piece are this longer style, and my two center pieces are square. And I'm going to do this as a pop-up show, and I have 4 easels coming, so this will be kind of the end cap, the other tall one will be an end cap, and there'll be 2 smaller ones. And I think that's going to be a good form for doing a series like this. I think I want to work in short series, at least going forward. I'll always have the occasional piece. Like during the midst of doing this series, I did one piece that was a COVID piece. I had the Into the Light, or Into the Dark, or From the Darkness piece. I don't know, the one with the Grail. I had the one with the Grail idea during this piece, and I did the skimboard piece during this series. But that's just kind of how art's gonna be for me. So I'm already kind of planning my next series. I'm looking forward to doing the show on this, and then when I do the show, I'm going to try and do it as a video that will be the overall, so not the piece by piece. So don't know how much I should be explaining that in this video, but I'm still getting into the groove with this. I'm starting to get into the groove with DaVinci Resolve, so hopefully the editing gets better. Hope you enjoy this work. I'm planning to get some cutouts of the individual scenes into this video this time, so that's going to be a giant leap, because as I expressed when I started my YouTube channel, I don't like video editing, but the truth is, I think the YouTube is the best place to put the consolidation of my work. It has the most legs here, so it might as well be beautiful. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful day.